Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new class, online class. In this series of classes, we are explaining and going through all the basics of the Spanish grammar. Today, we will be covering possessives. Possessives are words that allow us to express who is the owner of something or point to the owner of something. Without any more delay, let's go for it, and let me explain how to do it in Spanish. You should be seeing my whiteboard right now, and I believe in English, your possessives are like this. You have my, you have your, you also have his, when you are talking about a man, or you have her, when you are talking about a girl or a woman, or it's when you are talking about objects, or maybe animals as well. Then you have our, you have your, this is a your plural, you are talking about several people. And finally, you have there. Okay, first of all, in English, you don't have single or plural. Possessives will always remain the same. Doesn't matter if you say my car or my cars. But in Spanish, we will have single and plural. So I will write it here. I will write the single form and the plural form. And every single possessive in Spanish will have both forms. And then let's go and see how we translate my. For my, we say me. Or if it is plural objects, plural belongings, we say mis. Your, we say tu. Or instead of saying your car, you say your cars, or your house becomes your houses. We say tus. It's always basically adding an S to make it plural. His, her, its. This is going to sound strange, but we have only one word for it. We don't differentiate between a man or a woman or an object. For us, the possessive for a third person single, it's always the same. So simply by using the possessive, you won't have any information about the gender of the owner. This will be part of a longer conversation. So it will be specified there if it is a man or a woman. So for his, her, or its, we say su. And if it is plural, not plural people, plural belongings, plural objects, sus. Now let's go for plural possessives. These three left, they don't talk about one owner anymore. When we were talking about my, your, his, her, its, there was only one owner. Now, this is people who have things in common and they share them. Our house. It's at least two people sharing the house. So here we distinguish between masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine of the object that we belong. So we would use nuestro for a masculine word. For example, if you and your wife has a car, for example, something masculine. and you want to say our car, you would say nuestro coche. Or you have a son in common, only one son, the two of you. You say nuestro hijo. So it's something that 2 or 3 or 4 people have in common, and it's masculine. What if that thing that you have in common is feminine? Nuestra. Nuestro and nuestra. And what if we go plural? My wife and I, we have 2 sons. Our sons. Nuestros hijos. Nuestros coches, in case we have 2 cars or more than 1 car. Nuestros amigos, our friends. And what if it is something feminine? Nuestras bicicletas, our bicycles. Nuestras casas, in case we had more than 1 house. And the same will happen with your, referring to 2 owners or 3 owners. Actually, the words are very similar. It's just replacing the N for a V. Vuestro o vuestra, and vuestros y vuestras. Finally, there. You're talking about a third person plural. Your neighbors, they have 3 sons, their sons. We are going to use exactly the same word that we use for his, her, its. We use su and sus for plural. I know it can be confusing because su means so many things. Su can be his, can be her, can be its, can be their, but the context will tell you if you are talking about a his, a her, or a their. Vale. Shall we practice a little bit? Okay. I'll give you a few expressions and I'll give you some time to think about it, and then I'll give you the answer. For example, if you want to say his dog, a man who has a dog. Okay. Dog, the word for dog is perro. It's single. So because it's single, we would say su perro, his dog. One more. Our sofa. Nah. Our kitchen. You and your wife, you have a house, and of course, the house has a kitchen. So our kitchen. So kitchen, the word for kitchen is cocina. Cocina is a feminine single word. So we would say nuestra cocina, our kitchen. Why nuestra and not nuestro? Because cocina, it's a feminine word. More. A simple one. My friends. The word for friend is amigo, but in this case, it's more than one friend. It's friends. So it would be amigos. So how would I say my friends? Mis amigos. Why mis and not me? Because I have plural friends. I have more than one friend. I've gone from single, my friend, to my friends. The possessive can be plural in Spanish. I know you don't do it in English, but we would do it in Spanish. One more. For example, let's go for their bikes. Their bikes. You're talking about your neighbors, or you are talking about someone that you know. A couple, for example, man and a woman. and they have several bikes, their bikes. So, well, bike, the word for bike is bicicleta, although it can be shortened to bici, but it's a feminine word. So how would you say their bikes? Sus, bicis. Their bikes. It's plural. That's why I'm using sus, not su. I hope all this makes sense. And I hope you've learned something new. And the idea is that we practice this with all the extra homework that I can send you and all the practice that you can get. This is one of the last things that we are going to see before going into verbs and tenses. So far in these 4 lessons, we've been creating like a foundation that will allow you to say the beginning of any sentence in Spanish. Very soon, after we see one more thing, we will dive into verbs and tenses. So I hope you practice a lot, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.